the big comments after game 2. He certainly caused a stir here locally. I don't know, Caitlin, if you saw the New York Post back page, the creative portrayal of Carlisle that was on the back page after his comments game 2. But hey, you look at the officiating since, and I think it's been a different story. So that was $35,000 well spent, I think, if you're Rick Carlisle and you're the Pacers. Caitlin, did you think the comments shifted the way the series has been officiated in general? You see a difference in the officiating games 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4?
I mean, I will say that I think that the play where Aaron Nesmith was in Jalen Brunson's landing space last night was a foul by any definition. I think that there's been missed calls on both sides. Certainly there were at the end of game 2. I can understand where some of the frustration from Rick Carlisle goes, and there's also the added benefit that when you go out on the podium and do that, your guys know that you're going to go out there. That's perhaps has a galvanizing effect as well. I think that the one thing that does stand out, though, is that the Pacers tried to have Aaron Nesmith guard Jalen Brunson at the beginning of February. On February 1st, he was his primary. Aaron Nesmith ended up fouling out. A few days later, when they played them again, I believe on the 10th, that's when they ended up pivoting to Andrew Nembhard, and Nembhard had recently been reinserted into the starting lineup, predominantly because Nesmith was picking up a lot of fouls at the point of attack. So the fact that he's been able to stay on the floor without fouling out, really showing his hands against Jalen Brunson. If you're going to make those types of comments and you think that the game might be officiated more in your favor on the home court, that definitely did benefit Aaron Nesmith, who's known for being able to rack up fouls, especially when he's defending smaller guards.
There's no doubt this series has been officiated a little bit differently, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, we are at home in the postseason. You're traditionally going to get the better of the whistle. And we can't ignore the fact that the Knicks clearly got the better of the whistle in game 1, specifically the acting job that Dante DiVincenzo did at the end of the game. Now, Carlisle playing the big market, small market card. Listen, I wasn't a big fan of the comments, but I know what the coach is doing. It's full-fledged gamesmanship. And do I think that his team back at home got some calls that went their way in game 3? 100%. There were a couple of blown calls in game 4, but I don't want the narrative of game 4 when you basically lose by 40 points to be officiating, because I didn't like the narrative being talked about when it comes to officiating deciding a game in game 1 or game 2. I thought that was overblown. And at the end of the day, even in game 3, where I thought there were a couple of missed calls that went against the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken, the Knicks missed a couple of free throws late. Brunson missed one late. Hart missed one late. Nembhard hits the shot, and you had a 9-point fourth quarter lead. So I don't want to hear about officiating. And when you get your rear end kicked like they did, guys, the last thing any Knicks fan should be doing, waking up Monday morning, going into work, talking about the game and saying, oh, well, we didn't get this call, we didn't get that call. The proof is in the pudding. That game was as ugly as can be. And, hey, it's 2-2. Want to tell me Indiana got a better whistle at home? Knicks got a better whistle at home? Okay, series on. Let's go.